Yes, people, we're back again with another episode of the Online Health Business Academy podcast, geared towards personal trainers, people who are into fitness, all sorts, but mainly for coaches who want to build up their online coaching business. You got myself, Coach Mike here.
Yes, and Coach Jav in the building.
Yeah, we're here, man, consistently here to bring you that good news and that information. So today's episode is all about the beautiful, beloved before and after photos. Yeah, the ones that helped us build our businesses. And every business relies on social proof, right? Like any business there is, whether it be in the form of reviews or happy looking customers, or in the personal training industry, fitness industry, where it's very visual and you just see the before and after pictures. And if you're a coach or you're PT looking to be a coach, you've probably seen it. We just want to talk about what goes into getting those before and afters, how to get great results for your clients, especially online as well, online, because it's different from PT. So, yeah, Jav, I'll let you kick it off. So what's the first thing? First thing first, new PT that's new to online coaching. I didn't get much before and afters because I just wasn't thinking like that on the gym floor. What's first things first?
That's already an issue because, there are a lot of coaches that don't even think about that. But you know what, I think the first place and the first thing to think about in general is not expecting online coaching to be like personal training. Like, don't expect it to be exactly the same.
What do you mean by that?
In a sense that the way that I can coach someone in person is completely different. Online is more like, I've got to mentor you through the process. I've got to stay on top of you because the results don't actually come from training in the gym. Training in the gym is like small snippet of it. So you can't approach it with that same, okay, do this, do the burpees, do this, do that. Because that's not what gets them the 30-pound weight loss or whatever the result is. It's the consistency and the food and So I think, it's more like the mentality towards it first. Obviously, you need to be a good coach though.
I think it's better. I actually think it's better. I was saying this on today that my online clients stay longer than my PT clients did.
You know what?
Average.
So we've got an ad going out right now. And some of the comments under the ad right now is actually coaches saying that no, the turnover for online coaching is a lot more. Like, you lose more clients. Like, the clients don't stay with you as long.
What do you think?
Boy, I've had clients that are with me for 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to say and I don't know. I know some people that do PT for that long, but I think online, I think it's based on your delivery, like how well community delivery and how much results your clients get. And also the roadmap beyond the time frame that you gave them. Because you might say, I'm sending a 6-month program, but you need to explain to them that long term it's going to be more than that. So it depends, man. But to not deviate too much, I think the first thing you need to understand is that coaching in person is very, very different to coaching.
What's some of the key ways that you need to adapt when you get online versus being on a PT?
I think that something that I told the guys the other day is when you're writing out a program, you've actually got to conceptualize the gym. That was probably one of my biggest difficulties when I started, bro, because I would be telling people to do the kind of things that I would do.
Yeah.
When I'm in the gym, I'll pull the rowing machine across the gym to bring it to the rack, and I didn't care. You got to remember, people are not going to do that. So then
confident.
You've already got to be confident or know your way around the gym to do stuff like that. So now you got to start coaching with the gym in mind. And it's okay, someone's by the squat rack. All right, maybe I could put something with dumbbells close to the squat rack. Or if you're going to do a superset, it might just be, you might put in the program, hey, grab 2 dumbbells, bring it to this machine. And
very good point.
Yeah, so that's the kind of things that I started to do. And that helped me a lot because clients were enjoying their workouts more. Yeah, because when I started, I was doing a madness, bro. I'm thinking they didn't have to do CrossFit, everything. I'm getting them to do different things. But most common gyms are not built for you to be able to move things around.
You know what? That leads me to a good point. When someone starts, even before they start, the questions you ask are so important. They're going to save you so much time. So one of the questions in my form when someone starts is, what type of gym? And there's options. You've got a commercial gym, you've got a family leisure center gym, and then you got bodybuilder gym. Now there might be something else, right? Those are the key different gyms, and from those, they're so different. You know what I mean? They're so different. Commercial gym, you got to bear in mind that you even got to find out. I'm thinking now, like you could even ask more. What time do you go to the gym? Do you plan on going to the gym? If you're even a gym person, your experience is different.
It's mad.
It's different.
It's mad. You're not even getting on a machine.
Exactly.
But do you ask them about? Do you ask them about like what level they're at in terms of advanced, beginner? Is that in the form, or do you talk to them about that?
No, I asked them. My form is very specific. It's super specific. So even in terms of like, have you tracked calories before? And I specifically asked, do you know how to squat, deadlift, and bench? That's what I say. And I find that gives me a good understanding, because if someone says they do, then all right, you got a good understanding of what you're doing. If they say they don't, that's kind of my big differentiator. But mainly my niche, I don't coach many people who are like advanced anyway. Intermediate, so it'll either be like intermediate or like beginner. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got that, but I've broken it down like mad basic. I've got, would you consider yourself advanced or beginner? Then within that, in brackets, I'll say advanced is you can do 5 to 10 pull-ups, squat at least your body weight. The beginner would be like, okay, I can't even run a 5K. I can't squat with a bar on my back, like, et cetera, et cetera. Once someone clicks beginner, they'll get a program that is suited to them. Yeah. And then that's another part of how to get them results. You need to meet them at their level. That's one thing as coaches, I don't think we do all the time, because obviously I come from a sporting background. So I get frustrated very easily. If I give a client something and they can't do it, in my head, I don't understand why they can't do it. But I've had to learn. I've had to learn over the years that, some people just can't do, like physically, they just can't do certain things.
Yeah.
But I think some coaches, they want to coach like how they train.
Yeah. That's on different aspects, and bringing it back into the sort of point. Even with the nutrition, even with the exercise, even with the habits, you can't do the one size fits all thing. You can't even think about yourself. You got to think about people and everybody else. So yeah, even down to the nutrition, we're saying this to the guys the other day, and the girls, like, don't just be a lot of coaches, I'm on the other side of the fence with eating whatever you want as long as it fits in your calories. I'm not a big fan of that person, because I just don't think it's realistic. Like, if somebody is obese, we have to be honest with ourselves. If somebody is obese, and this might be you, this is just an honest thing. There's things wrong on multiple levels. There's things wrong in terms of your body. There's things wrong in terms of your mind, right? Not like, there's something wrong with you, you're crazy or whatever, but more so just like the mind to body connection, even down to food, yeah? The Japanese have a saying of eat till you're 80% full, because there's supposed to be a 15-minute lag time between when you're actually full and you know that you're full.
Yeah.
The obese persons is eating till they're 130%. And their time, this is the truth. We're here to be truthful.
Fat shamers are gonna come for you.
That's it. I'm ready. But they are, so your lag time is like 30 minutes late. So I'm just saying it's different.
Is that factual, or are you just saying that though?
No, it's factual, isn't it? It's factual.
You got evidence for that, yeah?
No, I'll guarantee, I'll put the studies in there. The 15-minute lag time is definitely right. So now, if you just take any person that's obese and you just sit and watch episodes, we wouldn't want to do that. But you know that they're not really looking for or even considering when they're full.
As in, like, they don't feel the fullness. Like, physically, they don't feel it.
It's more, but it's a brain because your brain is connected to your gut. So it's more mentally, they're just not thinking or concentrating enough to know that they're full.
Right, okay.
So I'm just saying that everything to do with the obese person or the person that is out of shape for years or has been binge eating for years is different to an individual, including like their emotions towards food. So not everyone, just because the skinny or the slim Instagram girl can have her one chocolate bar and then go do her gym training and the rest of her session, her food is good. It don't mean the obese person can do that. And then in actual fact, most of them can't do that.
As in they can't manage
Just
to
have
eat it.
one.
Okay. They can't just have one. They're going to eat the whole thing.
They're
Yeah.
gonna eat the whole thing.
Okay. So you're saying that coaches can't prescribe that. Oh no, that's why you don't really think the whole you can eat whatever you want as long as it fits your macros, calories.
Yeah,
Makes sense for you.
I'm not big on that, to be fair with you. I think that, like, for me, out of sight, out of mind for a lot of people. Or even still, I'm flexible. And that's the key in what I'm trying to bring home, that you need to be flexible. You need to look at the person in front of you. Just because it's worked for all of these people don't mean it's going to work for, unless you're super strict with your niche to the point as where you're only going for people who are not obese and they've only got like 15 to 20 pounds max to lose. Then you can be a bit more like one size fits all.
Yeah. That makes sense. So I think that, I think the nutrition, obviously that's the number one thing, right? And the PTs who are moving online, or even if you're still in the gym, like I always think to myself, if you're PTing a client and there's no changes happening over X amount of time, you got to start to think about what's happening outside of that 1 hour session with the client. Because obviously, personal trainers, man, you get in the gym, see you on Monday, cool, 10 a.m., 1 hour, they go home.
Relax.
The rest of the week, you don't see them. So what do you think they're doing? The best PTs are the people that have some type of system or program that helps people across the whole week. So you can't just do this one session a week or even 2 sessions a week. You could do 5 sessions a week. If they're not on point, there's only 1 hour out of a day. So if they're not on point for the rest of the day, you're just there to scream at them and make them do burpees and bench press and pull-ups. Like, that's really all you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, but the good coaches, the coaches that are like getting results, they're giving their clients a system alongside the session. The session is just one anchor, but the rest has to be on point. So I think having a system, taking them through that roadmap, whether it's 3 months or 6 months or 9 months or a year, like, you need to point it out to them that, hey, okay, we've made it to this point. Now this is the next point. And I think when coaches have that in their program, they get better results, because every time that someone reaches a hallmark or like a major point in that journey, you can reset the goals and be like, nah, let's focus on this. And they buy in again and they get into it. So yeah, man, I think that's the number one. That's one of the main things, man. Just having that whole journey as well.
Yeah. What does that look like? Like, just in actual fact, what does that look like within your coaching program for anyone that doesn't really know?
For me, so I break it down into 2 phases. I got a 90-day sprint and then another 90-day sprint. And then depending on where they're at, we kind of build out the next phase. So I start every client on a little bit of a harsh deficit. Like, some people don't like it, but for me, I don't care. I think if you're overweight, it's actually going to benefit you.
Yeah.
You got to build that resilience to not eat as much shit as you was eating before.
That's true.
So I give them a harsh deficit. The first 2 weeks,
What's harsh though?
like,
They're gonna lie for you. They're gonna come for you.
like 1,600 calories or less, bro.
For what?
I don't care how big you are. Like, we're just cutting out the
Let me
bullshit.
know in the comments what you're saying, but yeah.
Bro, we got to cut the bullshit, because
Wait.
if you've been eating like crap, this is going to kickstart your weight loss journey.
Yeah.
And then guess what? It's a mental game. Because when they do it for the first 2 weeks and they've dropped 5 pounds, they're like, oh, rah, this works. Now the motivation rises. And then guess what? I send you a text saying, hey, we can eat more this week now. Back to 2,000 calories. Then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's mental. It's mental even more than physical. It feels crap. Well, some of them, they're like, raw. But you know why though? Because I give them 1,600 calories, but it's good food. I tell them this is what you can eat with 1,600. And they're like, oh, I'm eating more than I realize.
Volume.
Exactly, volume eating. So that's how I do it. And then after the 2 weeks, I actually bump their calories back up so they feel good. And hopefully they've seen like 5 pounds weight loss in that first 2 weeks. And they're like, raw, there's a bigger buy-in. And then you just keep it consistent depending on what weight they are. They'll get specific calories, macros. And then from there, whatever their target is, obviously it's dependent on the person's target, but like each month we'll get on a call and we'll outline, okay, you've done well here, but this is what you need to fix. When they hit their physical goal, now it's like we need to help them build out a new goal because it's not done. And one thing I was going to ask you about, in that process, how important do you think the pictures are, like making them take pictures?
Pivotal. Very important.
But why?
Because the scales, just in like what we know from being coaches, PTs, and we should know is that can be unreliable, especially if you're dealing with women, but even as men, little fluctuations here and there with women, it could be quite major. Like some women, 4 kilos, you know what I mean? 4 kilos over a few days or even more in some cases. So that's, and what happens is, again, we're talking about people who are obese. And I say with all due respect, you know what I mean? It's not like you're any different, just a situation in your life, right? With people who are obese, their emotional triggers are a bit higher as well. So you going on the scales after having done what you feel to be like loads of work, putting in a lot of effort, and then you're seeing kilos over, or you're seeing that you haven't lost a lot, it's going to kind of demotivate you. So for us as coaches, when you have pictures, it mitigates, like it protects you against what happens where a client comes to you and says, oh, like I put on this, or I've only lost this, I'm a bit upset. But then you can show them, look at your pictures. Like sometimes, I remember a woman said that to me, and I literally just made her before and after there and then. I knew she'd been getting great results anyway, like she'd been losing whatever, but she said that and I thought, okay, cool, let's get a little pre, before and after ready, chopped it up, sent it to her, said, look, you feel what I'm trying to say to you? So that's for me the biggest thing, the reminder. And that's what I love about this online coaching business, because a lot of what we do, it makes us more money, but it actually works for the person. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? It actually leads this person to get more results, to live a better life. So it's a very ethical business that we're in.
Yeah, man. I think that like a lot of coaches, a lot of PTs, like how many times you get on a call with PTs and they ain't got no before and after photos. And even like PTs that I've been coaching for 10 years and they ain't got no before and after photos. I'm like,
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Imagine like someone, I got a very good friend I went to school with who now he does like construction work and he does like gardens, he fixes kitchens, he does all that handyman stuff. Like he's just a genius. Yeah. Got some mad designs. Imagine I needed work from him and he ain't got no portfolio.
But funny enough, there's people like that.
There are people like that, yeah.
Because I've got a mate through family, yeah, that does so much stuff, and I've got a folder of his stuff. Because I had to tell him, like, bro, take the flipping picture when you're doing stuff. Like, it's just good practice. So yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
But when it's there because it's proof of concept, isn't it? So like, if you're watching this and you're a PT, please, I'm begging you.
Any business. Bro.
Any business, but especially obviously for the guys out there that are PTs, please take before and after photos. And if your clients don't like it,
yeah, what do you do with that if they don't like it?
Wait, I'm a hardliner. I'm not working with you unless you do it.
Woo, for real.
You have to. I'm not going to use it, but you have to. To be in my program, it's a requirement. You have to. I don't even...
Yeah, Muslim client, female.
I'll talk to her partner and see see if the partner's on board with it. But you have to. I make it... Look, I tell them, I ain't going to use it on social media without your permission, but it's for you. It's not for me. It's for you. It's actually for you. So that's how I explain it to them. Like, look,
yeah,
I get it, but it's not for me to use. It's actually for you. And when they see it that way, I think that they'll buy into it a bit more when they recognize that, hey, it is for you. Like, it actually is for you.
I try to go, I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite harsh with it as well, like that. There are some, like, as we say, I'm thinking of one woman that's recently joined that said she took pictures, but she wasn't comfortable with like the proper normal, because we got to remember there's like the normal before and afters for women. Like for men, we can just go topless. For women, it's got to be like, you should like sports bra to get the best out of it. So she didn't really want to do that, but ways around, just wear clothes that were kind of like, show so
see the
thing.
Yeah.
And that's what we worked with for now. And just emphasize that they need to be clear photos. She took some set of photos, said, nah, I need clear photos so I can see, because we need to see when there's a difference. So that's how we kind of mitigated that. But yeah, I'm harsh. Like, you'll find the clients that don't take before photos are the ones that will drop off quicker.
And they don't get results.
Because they get lost.
They're not seeing themselves.
They're not seeing what's happening. There's nothing more motivating than looking in the mirror or looking at pictures and seeing that, like,
lost weight or
I'm trying to transform my body. Yeah. So definitely.
All right, cool. So what we covered: training, can't treat them like you're PT, and then pictures and the accountability factor, nutrition. and then also giving them that journey and that roadmap. Yeah. I think as an online coach, those are like some of the pillars. Is there anything else that you feel like we might have missed, or there's anything that, okay, to get more client results, what else can you add to the pot?
Well, we was chopping up the other day on a webinar with the team, OHB Academy, check it out. And I was just breaking it down into 3 different types of clients, and I was about mindset. So I was saying that, and I want to hear your point on this. So you got the person whose life's optimized, but they haven't, the knowledge is missing. You got the person whose life's not optimized, but they have a bit of knowledge, and then you got the person who's just lacking in both. You know, and it's just about, you got to learn and know how to approach those clients in different ways. You know what I'm saying? So if I break it down a little bit more, so the person who's life optimized, I mean that they're a bit more organized. You know, you get those clients who are, in general in life, they're more organized. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe they're corporate, they work in the corporate world, maybe they're parents, but they're quite, you know, and they're just quite organized what they do. They've already got some systems to do with their food. And the rota and their schedules is good. They just don't have the knowledge. All they know is keto and all these fast diets and cardio 24/7. Then you got the clients who, and with those people, again, it's very simple. Give them the knowledge, and give them the knowledge as fast as they can. And those people actually love the knowledge side of it. They'll, you know, the more you give to them, the more they just love, and they love that journey. And then you got the people who are, they're just messy. You know, they're a bit messy, not organized, you know, a bit of a mess. And they've usually even got a bit of knowledge there, but they're, you know, and then you've got the clients that are just a bit of both, man. Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? Do you kind of agree? Is there another type of client that I'm missing out?
Yeah, I think you get those clients. I would say for the most part, that pretty much groups a majority of people. Like, it's one or the other, isn't it? So yeah, I would say I agree.
With the people who their life is not optimized, but they have a bit of knowledge, I suggest you need to, and I said it, that this is where most coaches buckle. Because if you meet someone who's not organized and you're not organized yourself, you ain't coaching them.
How are you gonna help
to win? You're not gonna do it. So they always say that you got to be 2 steps ahead at least, or 2 pages ahead. So so things like, I've read Atomic Habits. So there's some nuggets from that book that I can give a client who's not organized, like habit stacking, you know, where you match a habit that you're trying to build in with something that you've been doing anyway, like, you know, so, but it's because you're a bit above. So this is just a message to a lot of PTs, yeah? A lot of you aren't organized. You know, you haven't even got a schedule, you haven't got a calendar. You're messing up appointments, you're being late to your clients, like to your sessions. You got to fix that if you want to meet the needs of the most, you know, what the majority of clients are, which is those middle groups where they are also lacking that organization. So you've got to step it up, level up in your life, and then you can help them out.
And I think the best thing you can do, because if you want to get good at being able to coach across all of those 3 groups, because you're going to increase your retention.
Yeah.
And it's easier to sell to a client you've already got than to get a new one.
Exactly.
So if you get better at coaching all those different groups of people, your retention is going to increase, which means you're going to have a more sustainable business. Yeah. You're going to be happier with your business in the long term as well. So yeah, and I think that, it's difficult sometimes when you get those clients who, like you said, they don't have a schedule and they ain't got the knowledge. Like, they ain't got the organization nor the knowledge. Like, those are obviously the hardest clients to coach, but
usually obese. Usually they're not all. Nah, it's true. They are. It's usually the obese people. For a reason. It's for a reason that somebody gets that. And when I say obese, I mean, when I say usually obese, not like, just the BMI scale says you're obese. I mean, like, morbidly obese. I mean, like, you know, really, there's a lot, unfortunately, of those people nowadays.
And I think, but some of it is all mindset though.
Yeah.
Because if you can get a client in the right mindset, even if they're overweight or obese, they will see progress. Like, I've got a guy, and he is in a very high
category.
Yeah. but not very organized. Didn't know anything about training.
So this is the same, exactly.
Literally.
Yeah.
And I just said to him, look, like,
I got the same guy.
you've committed to this process now. You've already paid. I need you to just do 3 workouts a week and get me 10,000 steps. Can you do that? He said yes. He's lost like 30 kilos in like 7 months, which is good. But obviously, when someone's coming from so high, there's still like so long to go. So he kind of accepts that this is like a 12-month to 18-month journey. So, but it's just like, okay, every week I'm just getting him to think back to the basics. If you fall off, back to the basics. 10,000 steps, 3 workouts. 10,000 steps, 3 workouts. I didn't even talk about food because
When you're obese,
you just need to move. Yeah, you just need to move, innit?
Not that much.
Like you just need to move. The food can come in when you get a bit lower.
You can cut out one thing.
Yeah, and it will make a difference, innit? It's true. When someone's really heavy, that is true. That's all it takes.
Yeah, 100%. You hit the nail on the head there, man.
Yeah.
So the mindset thing. But all right, cool. Let's wrap it up on that one then. One thing to transform a client's mindset who's just giving you hassles, not doing what you said they should do. Yeah, spin a few times, and you want to get them back on track.
I think the first thing to do is open up clear lines of communication and bring them back to their why. You can bring them back to why they said they're going to do this, then you kind of got more leverage to tell them, hey, look, you said this was why you're doing it. If this is not important to you anymore.
Give a scenario example, bro. Make it real for me in terms of what.
I would say I had a guy, he had a heart attack. And he's not even 50 yet, having a heart attack quite young. And yeah, he was just falling off. He went on holiday, came back, and he was just taking a bit long to get back into things. So I literally called him. I was like, what's going on, man? I've been reaching out to you. What's happened? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you mentioned, obviously, this is like for your grandkids and da-da-da-da. You don't want to go through what you went through before. So I always use this phrase, is this still important to you? Because that's what I need to know. If it's not important to you anymore, let's just cancel the direct debit and whatever. Or I'll try and convince you, but like, if you tell me it's no longer important, there's not really much.
Ask somebody the same.
Yeah, I think it's difficult to pull someone around if they say it's actually not important to them anymore. Actually, I had a younger guy, he didn't have a heart attack, but he was about 6 kilos overweight. So it wasn't I don't think his why was big enough. And I think he just, he's got a girlfriend, he's got a good job. He wants to still enjoy wine and stuff and wine every night. And he's not, he's being a waste man. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, like let's be honest, like, is this important to you anymore? And he actually said no.
No, yeah. Which is honest. And then we both were honest.
Yeah, like, at least we're on the same page.
And only do what you can do.
The what's the nutrition, precision nutrition?
Yeah.
Because obviously they do a good nutrition course, but a big part of the nutrition course is about like the way you communicate with clients, because they recognize that just giving a meal plan is nothing. It's actually the questions you ask, and a lot of the way that they coach, and I bought into this philosophy about it, is like asking the client to basically like solve their own problems. Yeah, because it's a lot of like, okay, like I might give you a workout program and I might say, look, I need you to do this, this, and this. Do you think you can do this? Let them confirm that they believe in themselves to be able to do it. Okay, I want you to go to the gym at 6 a.m. rather than 8 because I noticed that when it's 8, you're rushing too much. Is that going to be too much for you? And you're just asking them to just confirm that they can do it, because then there's no excuses. And also they've bought into the belief that they can do it after they've confirmed it with you. So it's a lot of like letting the client take charge, but you're actually taking charge by the way you ask the questions. And they got a lot of free information on how to like implement that in your coaching, how to, so it's good, man. So yeah, them scenarios, yeah.
There's a good point you made, so that I want to round up with that. You just called him. You just picked up the phone and called him. When you're starting out online, we can give you strategies and get you those first 5 to 10 clients in. And even get you the next 10 to get you to the 10 to 20 without any testimony, pretty much. Yeah, it's possible. But you need to start getting results at some point if this is going to be a real business, if you're going to stick around, if you're going to make it reliable. So when you're starting off, I remember going above and beyond to get those first 10 testimonials. I remember one of our first mentors said, when you get your 10 testimonials, you make money for the next 5 years or so. So I went above and beyond. And I still incorporate that element of it. Now, I'm not going to pour into a cup that's got a hole in it. I like to, show people that if a client's disrespecting the service and is not showing any appreciation or any reciprocation, and you've tried and they're just a bit blasé about it, then no, there's another client there to get with that time that you're pouring into them. But someone's just like struggling with the things that you knew they were struggling with, and just, you got to go a bit above and beyond, because as you get those results, doesn't matter all the hacks, all the YouTube gurus that you see, all these ad people telling you about 100 appointments they're going to get you. It don't matter if you're not getting solid reviews and are not getting serious testimonials. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Do you have any last points?
No, man. Remember, one thing we didn't really touch on that we could have is also, you got to practice what you preach when it comes to the coaching.
What time, bro? Go on.
So, it's not that you can't be out of shape or overweight, but I do believe that you got to be living.
Why are you on the fence, bro?
Nah, you got to live your truth.
You can't.
The only reason I say that is because, bro, I've had coaches that are fat,
bro. What in training?
In football, I've had coaches that are
exactly. This ain't athletics, bro.
Yeah, but I've had coaches that are fat, but they got the knowledge.
No, this is what I'm saying.
They've got the knowledge.
This is what I'm saying.
And they know more than me.
This is what I'm saying. In athletics, yeah, it doesn't matter what your coach looks like. Boxing, football, it doesn't matter, bro.
Why not?
Because your coach might be Ronaldo. What's his name? What's his nickname? Ronaldo. So that you can't tell Ronaldo that about how to win a World Cup or how to, Ballon d'Or. No. But when it comes to weight training, to lose weight and to get fit, you're gonna have the knowledge. I get it, but at the same time, the person who's buying into you is not trying to win the World Cup. They're not trying to, they're just trying to lose weight. So, on a buy-in side, you're gonna lessen your opportunity to buy. You understand? Unless you've got 100 testimonials. That's my perspective.
Yeah,
and even then,
I agree. But I agree, but then I also know that there's people with mad knowledge that just aren't living it.
Have you got a fitness coach, or have you ever worked with a fitness coach who was out of shape for fitness, not for fitness specific?
I worked with a strength and conditioning coach for football who wasn't in shape, but he did our strength and conditioning.
Football, bro. I was talking about for fitness. Do you know one that's out of shape for fitness, a top fitness coach?
I don't know a top fitness coach then for online coaching or PTing who is out of shape.
There we go.
But yeah, my original point is you need to live your truth, right? So you do need to, I'm not saying you have to be have abs,
exactly.
But you do need to be in relative shape. And I think if you're not and your houses aren't in order, then how can you talk with authority about, that's why I like when coaches, they're in the trenches as well. They're doing the workouts, they're doing Tough Mudders and they're doing marathons. And it's good that you do that. You're doing high rocks. It's actually good because you're demonstrating that, hey, I do the work too.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is when coaches are putting too much time into that and they ain't got time to, their diary's all messed up. They can't take sales calls. They're not setting aside time for their business, which is a whole nother topic. But anyway, you need to practice what you preach is basically what I'm going to say. So with that, boom. Don't forget to download our 0 to 5K training, links in the description. Also, if you like the podcast, we're going to be adding a little donation, buy us a coffee. So we'll put the link in there to buy us a coffee. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to put in. Yeah, like a little bit of Starbucks. So buy us a coffee. And then lastly, if you are finding value in this, please, please, please leave us a review. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Just give us a like, share, even leave a comment. Like all of that does help. And it does help push this podcast to more coaches. Because there aren't really any mentors, nobody doing a podcast. A real one, giving you the real source, the real tea, yeah? So with that being said, the OHB podcast, this is episode 15, I believe. Peace.